David Perlmutter, Grain Brain, The Surprising Truth About Wheat, Carbs, and Sugar, Your Brain's Silent Killers. Welcome to a fascinating journey through the pages of A Grain Brain, The Surprising Truth About Wheat, Carbs, and Sugar, Your Brain's Silent Killers by David Perlmutter. In this summary, we will explore the complex relationship between inflammation, carbohydrates, gluten, and their impacts on our brain health. The book sheds light on the negative consequences of consuming sugar and grains, and how reversing the damage is possible. We will also delve into essential dietary tips and practices to adopt, including the role of good fats, cholesterol, calorie restriction, and exercise in maximizing the brain's potential for optimal performance. Strap in as we unravel the connection between our daily consumption and the long-term health of our brain.
The inflammation-disease connection. Headaches and knee pain are familiar nuisances often caused by inflammation, but many people are unaware of the links between inflammation, chronic diseases, and conditions such as Alzheimer's. Inflammation is a natural response to harmful stimuli, but when it becomes chronic, toxic chemicals are released which can damage healthy cells, contribute to arterial disease, and Alzheimer's, through a process known as oxidative stress. Inflammation is also a symptom of diabetes, which results from high blood sugar desensitizing cells to insulin, leading to a vicious cycle of insulin overproduction and increased desensitization. Interestingly, researchers have started referring to Alzheimer's as type 3 diabetes due to its connection with inflammation and high blood sugar. Gluten, a hidden danger. Gluten, a seemingly innocuous protein found in wheat and grain products, hides far-reaching health risks. Celiac disease, a severe gluten sensitivity in the small intestine, was discovered in the early 1900s, but wasn't fully recognized until the 1940s when wheat scarcity during a famine led to a dramatic decrease in death rates among affected children. The dangers of gluten sensitivity became apparent when migraines were alleviated through a gluten-free diet. Even without celiac disease, individuals can still be sensitive to gluten, partly because it can be addictive. Gluten molecules connect to brain receptors responsible for pleasurable and addictive sensations. Thus, gluten has the potential to be as harmful as tobacco. To safeguard one's health, it's crucial to be mindful of the negative effects that even healthy wheat products can have on the body and brain. Fat fuels the body and brain. Contrary to popular belief, carbohydrates aren't as necessary for a thriving life as previously thought. Instead, healthy fats play a critical role in sustaining our bodies and promoting cognitive health. Studies have shown that elderly individuals with a diet high in healthy fats are less likely to suffer cognitive impairment, and cholesterol found in fats aren't as harmful as widely believed. Our ancestors thrived on a diet comprised mainly of fats and proteins, highlighting the importance of these nutrients. Moreover, studies have shown that people with higher cholesterol levels face lower risks of cancer and infection-related deaths. Maintaining a high-carb, low-cholesterol diet can result in a state of cholesterol overproduction. Adopting a low-carb, high-fat diet strategy can help you sustain a healthy, well-functioning body and mind. The hidden dangers of sugar. Excessive sugar consumption poses a threat to not only your waistline, but also to your internal organs and brain. Fructose, found in many processed foods, is tough for our bodies to process and may lead to insulin resistance. These sugars and other carbs can turn into harmful visceral fat that generates inflammatory chemicals, negatively impacting your cognitive functions, including memory. Choosing unprocessed foods and moderating your sugar intake could be the key to better overall health and mental well-being. If you think that sugar is just harmful to your waistline, think again. It's crucial to understand the far-reaching impact of sugar on your entire body, including your internal organs and brain. Fructose, the sweetest of sugars found in fruit and honey, is particularly potent. In fact, it's the most fattening carbohydrate. Unfortunately, most of us consume excessive amounts of fructose, primarily from manufactured products. Our bodies struggle to process this overload, particularly when compared to unprocessed food sources. For example, a medium-sized apple has 44 calories of sugar but also plenty of fiber, whereas 12 ounces of apple juice contains 85 calories of sugar with no fiber, akin to most soft drinks. While fructose doesn't show immediate effects on blood sugar or insulin, it can eventually induce insulin resistance, leading to a range of health issues. Moreover, sugars and carbs can transform into harmful visceral fat in your body. This fat, invisible and unreachable as it wraps around your internal organs, is highly detrimental to your health, causing not only insulin resistance but also producing inflammatory chemicals that directly damage your brain and impair cognitive functions. In a 2005 study, researchers examined the correlations between the waist-to-hip ratios of over 100 participants and changes in their brain structures. The results were startling: the bigger the belly, the smaller the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for memory processing. This means that good memory is associated with a larger hippocampus. The bottom line is that mindful eating habits, favoring unprocessed foods, and limiting sugar intake can play a significant role in maintaining better overall health and mental well-being in the long run. So, choose wisely now to ensure a healthier, happier future. Rewire your brain's DNA. Contrary to popular belief, cognitive decline is not an unavoidable consequence of aging. Our modern lifestyles clash with our genetic makeup, which has led to common diseases. However, our DNA remains adaptable and can revert to its original formation. Our genes are influenced by various factors such as diet, stress, exercise, sleep, and relationships. One crucial DNA-controlled process is neurogenesis, facilitated by the protein BDNF, which supports brain functions like thinking and learning. Encouraging BDNF production can be as simple as reducing calorie intake, and cutting back on sugar is an effective way to start. By understanding how our lifestyle choices impact our cognitive health, we can actively shape our long-term brain functionality, as well as benefit from short-term improvements. Gluten's impact on mental health. The harmful effects of carbohydrates go beyond causing dementia, as they are also linked to neurological issues like ADHD, anxiety disorder, Tourette's syndrome, migraines, and even autism. Many times, effective treatment lies not in medication but in dietary changes, such as a gluten-free diet and omega-3 fat supplements. The culprit behind such conditions could be attributed to cytokine proteins, a product of gluten sensitivity, which disrupts critical neurotransmitter production and blocks happiness. Embracing a gluten-free diet could help those suffering from these neurological conditions to regain their mental stability and focus. Shifting our focus to the deeper grounds of carbohydrates, we dive into the connection between these food compounds and neurological disorders. In many cases, ADHD, anxiety disorder, Tourette's syndrome, migraines, and even autism have a link to carbohydrate-induced inflammation. In one example, a gluten-sensitive 4-year-old boy suffering from ADHD found solace in a gluten-free diet and omega-3 fat supplementation. This natural approach proved a lot more helpful than prescribed medications, making diet changes vital in combating brain disorders. Unfortunately, this knowledge is often buried under psychiatric practices that increasingly rely on medication as the prime antidote. For instance, between 2001 and 2010, the prescription of anti-anxiety drugs increased massively among children, despite the potential benefits of a more natural, gluten-free approach. In order to grasp why gluten sensitivity can trigger disorders like anxiety and depression, we must understand the role of cytokine proteins. These proteins, which indicate inflammation, hinder the production of neurotransmitters such as serotonin, responsible for generating happiness. Heightened gluten sensitivity leads to increased cytokine production, creating inflammation and blocking our serotonin levels, forming a dark cloud of neurological issues. A testament to this theory, a patient with recurring depressive episodes and obsessive-compulsive behavior improved significantly through a gluten-free diet. From ADHD to depressive disorders, adopting this dietary change can provide a path towards mental stability, focus, and improved emotional well-being. Unleash brain power with fasting. The human brain has a unique ability to utilize alternative calorie sources during periods of deprivation. Contrary to the misconception that fasting slows metabolism and leads to fat accumulation, it actually has numerous benefits, including enhanced energy production, better brain function, and faster weight loss. Fasting has long been used as a tool for spiritual growth in various religious traditions. It promotes the use of ketones, derived from fat, as a fuel source for the brain. Surprisingly, you don't have to fast to experience these benefits. Consuming ketogenic fats such as coconut oil can also yield the same results. The ketogenic diet, which requires obtaining 80 to 90% of daily calories from fats, has been employed as a treatment for various neurological conditions since the 1920s. Research shows that the heart and brain are 25% more efficient when running on ketones instead of blood sugar, and brain cells thrive on ketones. To maximize your brain health, incorporate more ketogenic fats into your diet and consider adding supplements like DHA, resveratrol, turmeric, probiotics, coconut oil, alpha-lipoic acid, and vitamin D. Exercise boosts brain power. Exercise isn't just good for your body, it also benefits your brain significantly. Aerobic activities, such as walking, help activate genes linked to longevity and neurogenesis. Numerous studies have revealed a correlation between high brain volumes in physically fit species, including humans. Regular exercise enhances blood flow to the brain, which supports cell growth and maintenance. Other advantages include inflammation regulation, improved insulin function for sugar delivery to cells, enhanced memory, and increased BDNF levels. Incorporating heart-pumping activities into your daily routine, even if it's just a walk, can yield substantial long-lasting cognitive benefits. Sleep, the ultimate health boost. The most important tip for a healthy life is prioritizing high-quality sleep, which positively impacts every aspect of our well-being. It affects our dietary needs, metabolism, weight gain or loss, immune system, and even creativity. A good night's sleep helps us cope with stress, process information, and organize memories. Researchers have discovered that sleep deprivation alters the function of over 700 genes related to stress, inflammation, immunity, and metabolism. One hormone affected by sleep is leptin, responsible for regulating energy balance and hunger, as well as coordinating inflammatory responses. Sleep deprivation leads to a drop in leptin levels, causing us to crave unhealthy, calorie-dense foods. There are no drugs or supplements to stabilize leptin levels, only a sufficient amount of sleep can achieve this balance. Therefore, prioritizing sleep is crucial for maintaining a healthy mind and body.
Having delved into the compelling arguments presented in Grain Brain, we can now comprehend the detrimental consequences of sugar, carbohydrates, and gluten on our brain health. The book highlights the importance of adopting a ketogenic diet rich in healthy fats and low in carbs to enhance cognitive function and protect against numerous neurological issues. Additionally, it emphasizes the crucial role of exercise, good sleep, and balancing our genes in maintaining our overall brain health. In conclusion, David Perlmutter serves as a guiding light, offering clear and practical strategies to reclaim our health and unleash the full potential of our brain power.